take a look at some basic rounding options. So I'll start by coming up to rectangle by center, and right next to it there's this little arrow. So I'm going to come on the pull down there and drop right to the bottom, polygon by center. Select that, lock to our reference plane here at the front, and then I'll come down to the center of the axis and I'll push this up 100. Enter and accept. Come back and do the same thing again. Polygon by center. Lock to the center axis, and this time I want 50. And accept. Come back to select. Identify the region. And let's just push that back, and I've got symmetric on, and that's fine. We'll type in 100. I'll turn off my sketches and PMI also. I'll come up to the round command. I'll just identify this front edge right there, and I'll type in 10. Now if I'd like to edit that, there's a couple of different ways to do that. I'll just hit the select button again to clear everything. The first way, I can just select the actual round, and it comes back and shows me the number, dimension, radius 10. So I can click on that, and I could change that to say 22. And again, if I go back to select, another way to edit this, to come over here to the feature tree, to the round command right there, and just select it right there, and edit the 22 to say 33. So if I'd like to delete that, it works the same way. I could delete it from here or delete it from here. Let's just select it and we'll hit the delete key. Now let's look at a couple of round options. I'm going to come up to round again, and over here I see my options. Right down under here I see chain, and I'm going to pull this down to face. So I'll click on face and select the face, and it's on 10 right now. I'll just go with that. But I can stay in the command and pick additional faces. I could come back here and pick this face too. Same thing as we did before. If we want to edit this, we can just pick on round, but again I have to clear everything, then pick on the round. I could change that to 22. Let's just delete this. And I can always right mouse click and use the delete right there. Let's come back to the round command. On the pull down right here, say all rounds, and identify the solid. And now it puts those all in there. Now if you'd like to wind the mouse just slowly, instead of going 10 to 15 to 20 or whatever, if you come down here where the dimension is highlighted in blue, you can hold your mouse there and just wind your mouse. And see how that just brings that up or out, depending on which way I wind this. And so that you could get an idea, say, well, how big a round could I put in here? You don't want the rounds to run into each other. So it looks like 25 is as far as it'll go. So you could just back off that a little bit. And 23.5, and I could right mouse click. Now before I accept this, why didn't these rounds in here round? Well, let's come back here, and the reason why, they're called fillets. Inside edges like this are called fillets. So if we clicked on the all fillets also and accepted, then it would also round the inside. Then we can right mouse click. So it gives us a way different shape than what we started off with. It's a lot softer. Sometimes when I have a part like this also, and I see all these edge lines representing the rounds, sometimes what I like to do is come up here to shaded with visible edges, and I'll just go to the next one, shaded. Look what happens. Just a nice option there. And something else to be aware of is that rounding order can give very different results. Let's come over here to round 1, and I'll just hit delete and delete this. Right mouse click, delete. So I'm going to come back up to the round command, and come over to face and say all rounds again, and I'm going to right mouse click. And then I think, oh, I'd like to round all the fillets, the inside edges. So I'll come in and grab those. Let me just change the color here to highlight what's happening. Change those to red. Look what's happening there. This could be hard to machine and probably not the rounds that you want. So again, just by changing up the order, you get a very different result. If I come back, just undo, undo, and come back to round edge again, say, let's go all fillets. It could have been all rounds, but I'll do all fillets, and then all rounds. And now, look at the result. This is a much different result. If I come back over to Part Painter, red, well, let's just do face. Instead of coming to a peak, it flares out. This is a much better round, the way this is. There's just something to be aware of, is rounding order can give very different results.